Hello friends, today I'm going to tell you about the software testing, what it means and why it's required and who does it, how we can do it. This is going to be very helpful for the beginners who want to start their career in software testing. So let's begin with today's agenda. I'm going to tell in a very simple way. So what software testing means? So it validates and assures the application which is under test on a user is going to use. It should meet the expected end user requirements and it should be fit for the purpose for the customers. And why it's required? It's required to assure we detect the defects early in the cycle and then deliver the product with high quality, and to make application more robust, more reliable and more scalable, so use with the comfortability. And generally, who does it? The question comes like, is anyone can be a tester? Yes, it can be a tester, but you need that with the generally who are the software tester by professional and other in the your team like BA or business analyst end user, they can also test the application. So what software is testing all about? It includes these phases, so like verification, validation, and to finding the bugs, ensure the quality, and in the last but not least, customer satisfaction. So if customer certifies your product is successful. So now let's do the verification. So it's very simple words what we can tell about that is the right product and feasible to build. Then the first step is pass on like, yes, we verified that we are building a feasible product. Now the time comes for validating that one. So the validation is like, is the product rightly built? And to complete this verification validation, that will come around with the finding the bugs. So when we find the bugs, we report and developer fixes the issues and the bugs, which result in the delivering of the product with the high quality and less minimal defects and issues. So at the end, what it achieve, like product is going to be fit for purpose and end users satisfied. So I can tell you that few things which is like I feel prerequisite to be a tester. In general, I'm not talking about like professional. Obviously, you'll be a graduate or you're just whatever the degree you have done, but as intellectuality, like what you should inherit the quality to be a tester. You need a person who think and act as an end user for the software applications, ask questions, and you should have good communication and proactive, self-directed, and obviously very very important thing is a team player. And obviously the task prioritization and time management also play a big role, because in some cases you can be working on multiple projects, so you need to have your time management and task prioritization knowledge. So I'll come to a topic where I'll just explain software testings, type of application we can begin with. It's like a different type of application we need to test, sometimes like from web to mobile and desktop. So in general or currently very very people are popular with the mobile applications, so now testing is also more popular for the mobile testing, including web and desktop application. So what the it start with, you should have the test plan and test strategy in a place, so you can plan your testing process. Is very crucial and important part that you should have a planning. so you can deliver, or like you can follow the process with high quality. So different different type of testing what we can do it, like unit testing, system integration testing, regression testing, user acceptance testing, and can be different ways you can do, like or approach you can use: manual testing and automation tool. A manual testing I can explain in a next a cycle how we perform the manual testing, but automation also very popular nowadays because we are more or less like we are human now, we are moving to automated most of things, so testing also needs the automation tools, so it reduce your manual effort and increase your productivity. And as a human you can't like test everything, but with the tools we can achieve far bit like in more coverage in terms of testing. How to perform manual testing? So that includes, like, you should have the documentation or requirements which for the application which you're going to test, but sometimes it's challenging when you don't have documentation. That's also like there, but you need to have expertise in that particular domain, so you can be as an end user or as kind of subject matter expert, so you can write your test cases. So the second step that you need to create a test cases or high level test scenarios. Later on, what the scenario which you have prepared you need to execute and you need to do the testing. While you're doing the testing, you'll find the defects which proves that there are flaws that developer team or like who are the coder team, they need to fix it. Once defect gets fixed, you need to retest and you need to close those defects to produce your test summary or defect summary reports. So this is here I'm given example of the test case, what it's look like what essential thing, or like you can say it's a template for the test case. So you should have a test case title and steps to perform and what your expected results or outcomes for that test case. So title should be a very clear and concise, so any end user or the tester can read it and can make out like what this test case is all about. So here is like another example I've given for the sample test case. So there will be a steps and then can be a precondition to start with and expected results, and then when you use this test case to perform your testing, you will have pass or fail column, so you can make sure that the particular test case been passed or it's been failed. So the phase when it start with the test execution, what you require to capture, so it includes capturing the expected outcome versus actual results. When you capture the actual results, there can be a situation where expected and actual result doesn't match, that where the defects, like we can say there is a defect because actual results and expected result doesn't match. And what you do in that case, you capture the evidences of that defect in sort of like capturing a screenshot of videos, and you can add your environment details, etc. And this is the template like for the defect creation. So the defect creation needs defect title, steps to reproduce, which you need to provide like what kind of steps you've done, so the expected result doesn't match the actual results. and then evidences, and the what I said in the previous slide, that you need to give environment details, or let's say if you're a mobile application, so what kind of version you have used to perform your testing, and you give the defect priority or severity. That also very important thing for any defect. So what's defect priority and severity, which I can explain here, like it's very simple difference. The priority is the company logo or brand. Very simple example for the priority, like high priority. If it's a something, a bug in the, let's say, logo is missing or brand icon is missing, so is the business impacted? So if yes, then obviously the priority is going to be very high. The severity, it means that let's say your application crash or unavailable, you can't use it, login page you can't log in, so it's just a severity is high. When you're ending up with your all test execution and closed defects or deferred defects, you need to produce a test summary, how many test cases you have pass or fail, how many defects been raised, and so you can send the summary to your management so they can have a look. So yeah, that's all in my slide.